All right, good afternoon, everyone. Trying to get my equipment here going. Forgive me for the slight delay, and hopefully you're doing well. No matter where you are on the planet, here at the Bisimoto headquarters, and I have a very cool car right here behind me. Hopefully you are doing well, especially those of you on the East Coast that are experiencing some ridiculous type of weather. Hopefully you're staying safe and everything is going well with each and every one of you all across the board. Thank you so much for joining me here on Instagram. For those of you on YouTube Live as well, I appreciate your presence. On TikTok, you guys have just been absolutely amazing. And for those individuals listening through the podcast networks, whether it's on Anchor, Spotify. Spotify is number one in terms of where you can listen to the Bisimoto Tech Tuesday. But the other options, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, so on and so forth. BB Sippin says Ioniq 5, dream EV car. Yes, that's it right there in the flesh. A 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5N. And that thing is a lot. Corbota saying, gee, what's that I spot in the background? Is it this one? Is it that one? Is it that? But if you're speaking of the Ioniq 5, that is an amazing car. It's one of the best EVs I've ever driven. Not because of some of the hot boy action that exists in it, and it's quite a bit of that, but in terms of how fun it is to drive, how tossable it is, all the functions is just absolutely amazing. And 641 horsepower with this boost button that exists, this N boost button that exists on the steering wheel, it is so much fun. I made it this week, says Ashin Campo. Hello, sir. It has been a minute. Thank you so much for joining. BB Sippin said Hyundai outdid themselves with Ioniq N. Yes, they did. This thing is, guys, I BS you not, it is so much fun. It's amazing. What are some of the great things I love about the car? Very tossable, feels very agile. The suspension is second to none. The interior is sick, very race car inspired, from very small Easter eggs like the lighting up of the N in the headrest when you turn the vehicle on, to the ambient lighting inside, to the feel of the car. The steering feels very weighted and very rich. The interior is quite supple. It's beautiful. Then we talk about acceleration. It's so fun. It has like a boost button that's almost like a push to pass that counts down for a few seconds. It's the same thing I put in some of my petrol cars from back in the day. I have it in my K3V as well as a particular kind of performance mode. This has its stock. What's interesting that one of my kids likes it, other kids don't like it, is the simulated sound that exists. You have 4 options for sound or soundless in this car. You can have a standard, no sound whatsoever, which is pretty normal. Yes, we can get a tour. We definitely do a tour, indeed, BD7. You can do a standard, like no sound mode. You can have a simulated mode that's more like a petrol engine. And when I say petrol engine, not only in sounds, but in shifting. It feels like a petrol car shifting with a very fast DCT setup, almost like Porsche's. I mean, it's like, I wouldn't call it Porsche's Tiptronic, but almost like how Porsche's PDK feels. That's what this does factory. And then it has burble in it, and it has like decel and just downshifting, and you can shift with paddles. It's pretty cool, but it's very synthesized, so it sounds almost like a video game, even though they do a good job with it. Yes, Pinoy Boy from TikTok, I was on Netflix. Long story short, it also has another mode that's known as supersonic, where that supersonic setup sounds like a jet fighter. So it has a jet sound, and when you shift, it has this like afterburn, which is pretty amazing. And yes, anti-stagnant. The sound is inside and outside. So you have toggle switches digitally on the dash where you can have it for those occupants only, or you can cascade it outside the car as well. And you have volume levels to where you can have it lower or higher, which is pretty cool. And the characteristics change whether you're in the standard mode, eco mode, normal mode, sport mode, N mode. It's pretty cool. And then there's, last but not least, is like a EV simulated mode where it sounds like a Formula E setup. When you shift, there's no kind of loud sounds like a supersonic or any kind of burp like you would with a petrol car. It just shifts like a Formula E car. It has that, which is pretty good. So I spent time with all modes. The petrol one is eerie in such a way that is so well done. And what I, as an engineer, could appreciate is some of the algorithms that went into making sure that the sound and shifting matches your driving style. It's really interesting how when you floor it, it does more. When it downshifts, it does more. When you let off, especially in N mode, it has the burble and it's really cool. So even though I don't like hearing that because I don't like artificial sounds, I can appreciate the technology and the thoughts that went into that design. It's pretty cool. So Hyundai, hats off to you guys. You built a car that's amazing. For us hardcore builders, we may not like the sound of the petrol setup, but for the average enthusiast or for individuals who just love cars, it sounds and behaves pretty cool. It's really nice. Sven Ha 1975 says, hey BC, the Ioniq 5 is really great to drive, and the Ioniq 5N is a beast, and I concur. It's really a lot, you know? BBC says, I'm not a fan of the synthetic sound effects as long as it goes fast. Yes, and this is fast. I mean, it's not fast like my Plaid fast, but this thing will embarrass probably 80% of the cars out there. It would embarrass them. It's really an all-wheel drive setup, 601 in normal mode. When you hit the boost button, it adds additional 40 to the rear wheels, so it becomes 641. It's really cool. If you can have the opportunity to really drive one and purchase one of these, get it. It's a fun car. I'm telling you, of all the EVs I've driven, sub 700 horsepower, this is the most fun. It's amazing. The fit and finish is vastly superior to what I've seen from Tesla. I own a couple of Teslas, and this thing is absolutely beautiful inside and well put together. Hyundai has come a really long way. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know? Speaking of PDK, says Agent Campbell, I've recently learned about the tech that goes into the ZF8 HP series trans and transactors. They are the new DC triggers. Yes, I think BMW uses that as well. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic and quite robust. People put some serious power down with those gearboxes. Cheers to you as well, One and Me from YouTube Live. Thank you so much for joining here at the Bisimoto Tech Tuesday. For those of you who just joining in, I am talking about my experience in the past few days with the 2025, beautiful white by the way, Hyundai Ioniq 5N. It's just a beast in factory form, you know? The only thing I don't like in a car is too many plastics, as Ben had 1975. Believe it or not, I've been building and interacting with Hyundai since 2007, and this is a vast improvement. And the plastic you're referring to, I don't quite know how bad you may have seen it, but this is absolutely interior. I'm talking a lot. I wonder if there's a way I can make this mobile and take you guys inside the car. It's really tough, so kind of bear with me. I want to be able to show you guys. I'm gonna kind of collapse everything here and show you guys what I'm speaking about. It's really cool inside this car, and forgive me, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to get everything going here, but I'm gonna try. So let's go over here to the car and let's go inside and I'll show you guys what I mean, how cool this actually thing is. So I don't want to give away too much in terms of cars. Thank you, Jonathan. And let me see, another thing is I don't want my Bluetooth to activate while I'm in there, so I don't know if it's gonna be easy for me to do this. I don't want to give out too much. Okay, so this is its interior. So you can see even how the end lights up right there, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there, the end lighting up in the seat. It's pretty cool. Let me try and go to the other way. Forgive me, I'm being cheeky here because I don't want to give away too much in terms of some of the builds we have here going up at SEMA. And speaking of builds, if you guys are in the greater Long Beach area this weekend, come out to Japanese Touring, a classic car show, which is pretty cool. And you'll have the opportunity to experience some really amazing Japanese cars, and I'll be there with one of my projects and judging as well. So look at the steering wheel, guys. See that? That is the steering wheel of the N. As you can see, it's very well put together. It doesn't look very plasticky indeed. Just very nice, very rich materials. There's some very high-end stitching here as well. This is the button that allows you to change to the N mode. This is almost like a pre-N mode button that kind of allows you to do some really fun stuff and play with paddle shifting, which is right here. The paddle shifters are like aluminum and have that nice feel to them as well. This is the boost button that I spoke to you about, and when activated, it does a great job in being able to give you like a push to pass function. It has drift mode, so you can drift with this as well. You can do a lot of drag racing, road racing. It's just a lot of fun. Even the speakers here are very nice. Has a Bose speaker that's embedded into the door as well. And as you look around the car, it's quite, I'm sorry, it's so hard to do this, guys. Forgive me, please. It's just really, the appointments are really nice. It's a very elegant vehicle interior. Very elegant indeed. Look at that. You can see some of the ambient lighting and the lighting up of the seats that have a nice bolster that can keep you in place when you're tracking. I'm glad they went away from kind of the boy racer seat belts. This is more elegant. It's not a bright blue or something that's really super flashy. The interior is quite nice. As we come along to the rear, it really does have a lot of space to carry and haul stuff as well. Look at that, plenty of space. The seats also can fold down and give you even more ample room in the back as well. It's really a fun car. It really is plenty of fun. I can just press the button there and comes down. That's something that I didn't see with some of the earlier Hyundais of back in the day. It's just really a lot of fun and very well put together automobile. It really is. It'd be great to work with you, says Sam Driver. Thank you so much. We're a great team here doing some really cool stuff. Appreciate the kind words. Forgive me as I try and activate our interaction here so I can put this stand up. It's so difficult because I have so many cameras here, guys. So forgive me if I mess up a little bit. Bring you down here a little bit and bring it down here. Kind of have to set up everything how it was before. Okay. Grindhouse performance, I am doing well, can't complain. Just having a good time and creative time building cars for SEMA. Jonathan and I were talking about that this morning. We have less than a month, 3 weeks to be exact, to build cars. We have 6 cars going to SEMA and we only have 1 done, so it's gonna be a lot of work. Just can't interfere with this guy, says Christopher. I'm sorry to hear that, sir, but what I'm doing here is I'm providing an opportunity to share all the knowledge and experience that I have building cars and doing crazy things here at Bisimoto. When I came to the United States as a student, I didn't know anything about cars. I tried to learn and people would shush me away and tell me to leave. In my case, I want to be that person I needed when I was younger. So I'm here to share all of my knowledge, literally everything I know, so that people can have the opportunity to really excel in the automotive community, do things a lot of fun, and create. That's my whole goal here, Time to get to work. You have till November, says BBC. You're absolutely correct, sir. I am a little worried, but Jonathan said I shouldn't be worried, so I guess we'll be okay. Maybe I should, I don't know. Anyway, what do you think of Porsche's new patent on the 6-stroke engine? I don't know what that's about. I really don't. A lot is happening nowadays with other types of mobility solutions. Sometimes, then again, things that are released to us are not as public knowledge as we'd like, so maybe there's something to go there. Porsche also doesn't throw away resources, so if they have a patent on a new type of power plant setup, it must be something quite special and something that we can all look forward to and enjoy, Whatever happened to your Genesis Coupe bid, says BB7? Great question. And that's what happens with actually a lot of builds from our partners at Hyundai. Hyundai really likes us promoting vehicles that are still being produced with the model year or generation that still exists. So that being said, the BK Coupe was discontinued and we were politely asked to not promote it anymore. So what I did was I took out the original power plant. That power plant actually went to a Mustang, believe it or not. It's going to a Mustang build. Not by myself, but a client, a friend of a client. And the chassis was then sold to another customer who came for a dyno tune, and he put it back to stock, to a stock 3.8 setup. So that's what happened there. Any new brands other than Porsche, Hyundai, and Honda, says Ashton Campbell? We are working on one brand right now. I'm not at liberty to talk about that, but this year, what we have going to SEMA is something that's bespoke, like call it like almost like a hyper exotic creator car. And then we have some Porsches and a Honda. Do you have any Porsches for sale, says Think Tank LLC? Not at this time. No, I do not. Hey, bro, says, I can't even say your name because it's a bunch of squiggly things on YouTube, but thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Where does the PRL go? In what application? What application are you speaking of? If you're asking about in electric cars, it goes in the drive unit for oil. If you're talking about internal combustion engine, it exists to allow for a break-in of new engine builds and also as a standard fill for vehicles after breaking in. So please elaborate and I'll be more than happy to share. We need a Bisimoto Hot Wheels collab, says ASIM MX5, and shame on me for that. Shame, 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 because we've had a few collabs. In my showroom is a Porsche center seat twin turbo setup that we're kind of doing some changes to that represented Hot Wheels 50th anniversary. So we did that collab. The Odyssey exists as a Hot Wheel. Civic Type R exists as a Hot Wheel. As a matter of fact, we also have a gold Hot Wheels car that Hot Wheels purchased from us that's in display at the museum. So ASIM MX5 from TikTok, yes, that collab does exist already. So thank you so much. I think you're working with Lucid or Koenigsegg, says BB Stiffen. I guess the closest thing I have to Koenigsegg is on my Plaid. The wing that's on it is a combination between Koenigsegg and a good friend from Unplugged Performance, which is on my car. But I've not had the opportunity to interact with Christian, who's the owner and founder of Koenigsegg. Jay Leno has shared many times that he feels him and I would get along because we think alike. He said we would be great friends if we ever met each other. I've not had the opportunity to meet him, but I'm looking forward to that. Lucid, wow, that's interesting. I don't know what you know, but Johnny Lieberman from Motor Trend is trying to make something happen, has been talking them up quite a bit, which I really, really do appreciate, which is great indeed, you know? Let's see here. Wait, I missed something. Keeping, says Omni XRA from Instagram, my first gen Odyssey automatic. And your thoughts on the H versus K series swap? That's a great question, Omni. The H series is, in my opinion, one of my favorite engines because the bottom end is very similar to my F22A. They share similar components. You can even interchange internal engine components, crankshafts, rods. You can do a lot of fun stuff with that. So I like that. It's something I kind of hold my teeth in. The K series is actually the newer version of what you may see, let's say, from a K20, K24 that you may see the TSX and Civic Si from your, or the K20C that exists in the newer Civic Type R. Either way, the K series has a lot more aftermarket support than the H series. So if I were in your shoes, which I have been on a smaller scale with a wagon that I'll be showing at JCCS this weekend, I would go with a K series just because of its robust aftermarket support and the fact that you can put a bone stock K24 at a K24A or a K24Z. You can bolt on a turbo and make reliable 400 horsepower all day, all night without qualm. And if you build it, you can get into 4 digits, no problem. So my take for you in your first gen Odyssey, which would be absolutely amazing, would be a K series, just because it's aftermarket support and its opportunity. All right. Good day to you too, Tech Moto. Love your screen name as always here at the Bisimoto facility on a little bit of a warm day. And behind me is a 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5N, which I've had for a few days now. A joy to drive. If you have an opportunity to test drive this or even buy one, this is the car to get. It is amazing. If you want to dip your toe into playing around a little bit with EVs, this is a good car as a starter. It really is. I found them online, even in this year, about a year, in the 60 range. So it's not bad at all in terms of what it offers. And when it comes to fit and finish, it is absolutely spectacular as a build. Fun, if you like to have some type of opportunity for, how should I say? Some people want emotion incorporated in their driving. This does it in so many modes. You can have it as standard EV. You can simulate a Formula E vehicle with the simulated sounds. You can have a supersonic setup with an afterburner, which sounds crazy, by the way. You can also simulate a petrol engine that's really robust, like a DCT style, PDK style shifting with burble and backfires. This thing does it, and it sounds really good, even though it's simulated. And for me, not my cup of tea with that, but this is fun. BK15 or BK1 Sosa says he likes the Kona N better. I like this better because it's a lot more modern, a lot more spacious, because I do have a Kona. Zero emissions, which is good. Don't have to worry about smog here in California. It's a win. I love it. I love it. And range-wise, I've seen about 240 miles, and that's me misbehaving. So the range is quite decent, has fast charging capability. It's about a 680, 700 volt architecture, which is great. So what that does is it allows for a lot more efficiency with the motors. You can have a lot more fun and not see a drop off in performance like you would with lower 400 volt systems. This thing is amazing. It really is amazing indeed. So that being said, guys, I do have to fly. As you know, we're getting closer and closer to SEMA, and we want to be able to do some really fun things here at Bisimoto. But this coming weekend, near the Queen Mary, is a Japanese classic car show. If you want to get tickets, tickets available online. I'll be there setting up on Friday. The event's on Saturday. Should be a blast. If you're able to come out there, please do. It's absolutely a mecca when it comes to everything classic in terms of vehicles and so on and so forth. I'd like to especially thank Hyundai and Drive Shop for making this car available to us. Looking forward to working more and doing a lot more with you guys. So in the meantime, guys, stay safe. Look forward to seeing you soon. And for those of you on the East Coast, please, please, please take care of yourselves because we need you around. We need some great things happening here. So stay tuned, guys. See you next week, same time. Have a pleasant one. Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.